My name is George Iceman Gervin.
This is Dylan Brooks. What's up? This is Vince Carter. You're listening to the 3-Point Conversion. Check it out.
Hey, Doc. Just how do you feel like that one got away from you guys?
I thought their pace, their speed eventually got us. I thought fatigue was a factor, but let's give the Pacers a lot of credit. I think Rick Carlisle's done an amazing job. They've created a hell of a team. Not only young, I think the Siakam trade really will change their fortunes going forward. They're just a tough team. Obviously we had guys out and all that, and that's hard, right? But just give them credit. I thought they played terrific, and terrific city, terrific franchise.
So what did you see from Dame tonight?
I thought it just took him a while to get going. You could tell off of pick and rolls he didn't have a lot of explosion, couldn't beat guys early. I thought in the second half he was better, but by that time we were in a hole. It was tough because you want him on the floor, but you also knew that it may take a minute, and in a playoff game 6, you probably don't have that minute. And I just love the fact that he knew he wasn't 100%. There's a lot of players that wouldn't have played tonight, and so just more respect for Dame coming from me because I watched him work out, and he looked good, didn't look great, but the fact that he just wanted to be out there with his guys is pretty cool.
We spent kind of the second half of the season, once you took over, talking about the two-man game with Giannis and Dame. You don't get a second of it in the playoffs.
No.
Where are your thoughts at as the season wraps up?
Yeah, listen, I don't know where my thoughts are right now. I really like this team. Obviously we're going to have to do some things, right? But never really having the chance to do any of the two-man game that you're talking about with Dame and Giannis. We did it on that West Coast trip, and it was starting to cook, and then I think Dame went out, then Giannis went out. Never, ever, I don't think we had, 2 games with all 3 guys, 4 games with all 3 guys, so we never got a chance to run the 3-man. We never really had a chance to create our offense that we wanted to create, but we'll have that chance. We'll have a camp, and so I'm looking forward to it.
Series, just how would you the effort you got from your guys in general?
The effort was amazing. Listen, last game we were the first team in NBA history to win a game with your 2 best scorers out. That's history. That's not like one game or 1 year. It's hard to do, man. Take Jokic and Murray away. Go to each team and take their 2 best players away. It's going to be hard. We understood that, but what I loved about our guys is no one wavered. Not one guy wavered. Every single guy in that locker room thought, even without those guys, we're still going to win this series. And that says a lot about the character of your team.
Yeah. Thanks to Obi Toppin and T.J. McConnell, they had a big advantage on bench points. How much were those guys a big factor in today?
They were huge. I think Toppin had a hell of a series overall. Just his energy, his speed, playing multiple positions. He allowed them to switch a lot of stuff. And TJ is just a pain in the ass. He just really is. And he was great. He didn't do great offensively for them, but he was just this pest defensively. He does what he does, And then he buys the coaches, all of us, a bottle of wine. So thank you, TJ. I don't know what that meant, but thank you.
Coming into the job when you started, you acknowledged that no training camp exactly would be a challenge. Just how do you, the challenge and having done it now for half a season, how do you feel about it?
I love it. I have an amazing appreciation for the city I live in, Milwaukee now. It's funny, I was there in college, and I thought a lot about it. Didn't realize how much it would mean to me, honestly, until I got the job. And then I started thinking about all the guys, Hank Raymonds and Rick Majerus, and all the professors at Marquette. And I probably wouldn't be here if I hadn't gone to that school. And so a lot of ways I feel like I'm going to do whatever I can for this franchise. And I really am. I think we can win. I do. I'm going to do everything I can to create that because it means more to me than I think you think for all those reasons. So it's rare. Usually right after the year, you want to go take a break. I can't wait to get started, to get to camp and be able to put all the things we think we need. So.
Following up on that, what does this offseason now look like for you? Saying you live in Milwaukee and you want to get things going.
Yeah, just work, I'm going to enjoy it, too. That's what we do. We don't have a lot of time, especially coaches these days, to enjoy it. You work through the summer. I'm not set with John yet about where we're going, what we're doing, any of that. It's too early for that. I'm just going to appreciate the guys that I had this year, and then we got to start building.
I know this is your only first year here, but 5 of the last 6 playoffs, the Bucks have dealt with pretty serious injuries.
Yeah.
Missing playoff games, things like that. As you consider the future of this team, how do you think about trying to manage that while still
injuries are just part of it. I've had personally just a horrendous streak. Joel, all 3 years in Philadelphia, hurt. Last couple of years with the Clippers with Chris Paul and Blake, hurt. Right? It takes, and I say this all the time, winning is incredibly hard. It takes 12, 15 players turning themselves into one and buying in, your staff being together as one, and then health. And then you still may not win. It's just hard. And you're not going to win unless you're healthy or unless you're really deep. So nothing you can do about it. Giannis plays the way he plays, and we need him to continue to play that way. Dame probably had a season this year where he never really could get in the right condition that he wanted because he didn't know where he was going all summer, and so he couldn't work out. Chris, this may be the healthiest we've seen him, so maybe that's something we can build on. So we'll see.
With Chris, he had such a great series, but did you see him kind of run out of gas tonight?
Yeah. And I also thought, bringing Dame back in some ways, he kind of, because he was exhausted, he was like, you go do it. And I thought that was great of him, but I thought we should have involved him way more.
Before you got here, this was one of the best defensive teams in the league. Obviously, they trade out Drew Holiday, but I'm curious, do you see the base of what can still be a great defense?
Yeah, we showed it in spurts. We have to do a couple of things that I know we can do, but we cannot be a bad defensive team and win anything. The numbers say that. You got to be in the top 10 in both, right? Top 5 in one. There's been some outliers, but overall, you got to be a top 10 defense and a top 10 offense. We got the offensive part covered. Now we got to get to the defensive part.
Can Brooks still be a part of that at his age?
No doubt.
You mentioned just some things throughout the course of the season, whether it be coaching staff, you talked about sort of the travel staff in general. Like, do you feel like going forward now you still want to, like, almost implement your, sort of coaching? Like, do you still feel like you've been able to sort of put your stamp in? Is there something going forward that you will be able to do?
Yeah, I do. Obviously, I got to evaluate everything and build the right staff so we can have the right staff and all that stuff. But I absolutely do. It's an advantage now going through the half of the season and coming to camp, then taking a new job. At least I've been with these guys, kind of know how they tick. I kind of know things that you would have never known that. So I think it's an advantage for me coming into next year. Thanks, guys.